I'm sorry, this person is not available. If you would like to leave an additional message, please reply after the tone.
Hey, Brandy, it's John, 312-498-0517. Talk to you soon. Bye.
If you are ordered to appear before Congress, or if you're under subpoena to appear, you damn well better appear. Which violate? Yes, no, it's not. If I may, Marshall, if I hello, Marshall, if I may. What Fauci is saying, what I believe, is that the only purpose for calling Fauci is not to investigatively find out what happened during COVID. It's to trick him up into committing perjury after his pardon is over, which is January 25, because he's testifying now. So if he commits perjury now in 2026, that is a new crime which is not covered under the. And all of the questions they're asking him are regarding events that took place prior to January of 2025. Why does? What's the purpose of questioning Fauci? Is it going to help us Americans figure out already know, or is it just a witch hunt to, as Fauci said, Rand Paul is on a mission to put him behind bars? That's why he took the fifth. Okay. Okay.
Hey, thank you so
Very
much.
good.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
It is my pleasure. Before we go to John, because Marshall is amazing. Marshall, is there anything you wanted to add? Did I miss anything, Marshall?
No, not that I'm aware of. You pretty much covered it all.
There you go. Let's say hello to the gentleman who in 2 years is going to owe me a steak and lobster dinner anywhere I want to go, John Malincrot. Good morning, John. Pleasure to see you on the show. Hi.
Oh,
John
sorry.
Malincrot.
Hey,
That's
John.
all right. That's all
Hey,
right.
Steve.
No problem. Hey.
No, you got that backwards, but you know, well, I guess I came in at the right time. I wasn't going to say anything, but I will just mention. I think you're wrong, Steve. I think that Fauci did lie to the American people.
Can you give us one of the lies that he said?
Yeah, and I don't know for sure that this is true, but my understanding is that early on, when the whatever they are, the masks that they use in surgery, the really super duper masks were short supply and really needed in the hospitals. He told the American public that any old mask would do, that they could just that they could make their own masks, and we didn't really know at that time.
You mean for COVID-19 or for a hospital?
In other words, he told people that they should wear masks, but he said as I understand it, he said kind of explicitly that you don't need the best masks.
So how is that a lie?
Well, I think it is a lie, and I say it only because, to my knowledge, it is the most egregious lie he ever told the American people.
How is it a lie at all?
Well, I think it's a lie because they really let me agree with you. I don't think it's much of a lie.
Okay.
But I say it only because I think if you wanted to look for something where he shaded the truth, I think it's the most egregious example you can find. And
how did he shade the truth by that statement?
Well, okay, well, never mind. I mean, people can make up their own mind whether he did or not.
Okay,
but I just challenge anybody to come up with anything that approaches closer to a lie than that. And I think that given that fact,
how about that you are not an expert in physics and you never were a professor in physics? How about that?
Oh no! I mean things that Fauci said during COVID. He's on trial for lying to the American people.
He's not on trial, but
well,
I understand what you're saying.
Basically.
Yeah, and they haven't produced law.
Welcome, Mountain. You just heard a brief sample from the Steve Appel, Casa de Appel.
Steve. Oh, yeah.
So you're saying that I'm so weird, bro, and is it the ashwagandha that's telling you to think that way? Because to me, the ashwagandha saved my life, bro. And with your suggestion to purchase ashwagandha gummies, I don't think I'd feel as good as I feel right now. And I know I wouldn't be alive if I didn't take the ashwagandha gummies. It was the ashwagandha gummies that saved my life.
Wow, that's incredible, bro.
I don't know what.
I can't help that. Let me hold on a minute. Let me get something on the back here. Oh, man, I feel like that was just divine, it was just like divinity, bro, where, like I had to share it with you, just save your life. I'm so glad that worked.
I don't know if you know this, but ashwagandha is also known as Withania somnifera. Its core active chemical compounds include steroidolactones known as withanolides, alongside alkaloids and saponins that drive its adaptogenic effects.
So are you being honest or not? I mean, just like I'm kind of joking, but it's helped me with a lot of stress. I don't experience a lot of stress anymore. I mean, I kind of was getting out of the stress zone anyway as I got older, but this has really helped me out a lot. I'm being honest.
They say black pepper also does the same thing. It's anti-inflammation, anti-stress, all thanks to the Native American tribe, the Black Hawk tribe, discovering ashwagandha. It's actually the reason why the Americans were fighting so hard to take all the land from the Native Americans was to get to the ashwagandha roots, so they didn't have to feel stressed and they didn't have to suffer from inflammation. That's the history of the world. That's what Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan are doing right now with the Priscilla Chan Zuckerberg Institute. Because they help spread the mass vaccination of our population with poisonous spike proteins, they've actually created the Priscilla Chan Anti-Inflammation Institute, and I wonder if they've given serious consideration to ashwagandha.
No, because it's alternative medication. They don't even want us taking this shit because it's gonna, just like why they go so hard against weed.
Really weird, bro. And I'm just wondering, what is it about John Kitover that makes you think that I'm weird, as opposed to actually just being a cool, nice, handsome, rich guy, who's classy, has got an intelligent brain, and when people call me weird, I don't even get offended. I just say, well, did it take you this long to figure that out? Because don't you know about Doctor Strange? Who do you think I am? I'm Doctor Strange in the flesh.
It's nothing to poo-poo on you about it. I think anybody who records people all day and listens to that Dow shit all day, it's just strange to me. I don't think you're a bad person. I don't think you're, I don't see.
What makes you think I listen to it all day? Like it's in the background in a recording studio while I'm in a different part of my place working on something. And who are you to have an opinion? See, you don't even listen. The whole thing deals with not having an opinion, and that's the great way. It's when you stop to take a moment and say, oh, what a weird guy. You yourself get taken out of your own life with your opinion, and then, so that's your failure. That's your faux pas, is not just being the silent observer of life and the miracle. You have this opinion problem. You're like an opinion addict. And all I'm trying to do is point out the logical and philosophical fallacy of being an opinion maker. That's not creation. What I'm doing is a recording studio. I'm in the recording industry. It's a recording industrial complex, brother. Haven't you seen He-Man? Don't you know that He-Man is a movie? It's a recording of pictures, sounds. It's a business. What do you think I'm doing over here? I'm running a business. Is that weird?
No,
that weird to be in industry? To be a corporate recording titan?
How?
I'm doing it right now. We got dozens of people watching this YouTube live and they're saying, what's this all about? Who are you?
Oh, okay. That's
You're a part of the show, whether you like it or not, Dr. Ashwagandha.
Oh, yeah, okay. Do you like it or not? Do you like Dr. Ganda?
I don't know if it's helped in any way. It's possible. I generally do not do supplements, and all the pills and stuff because what's crazy is I bought these like anti-gout pills, which is like dried cherry and dried celery, extract root. And so I put it in my coffee and it like congealed in the coffee to the point where it was like, this isn't edible. So why would I put this in my stomach in a pill to think that dried cherries is gonna like solve my problem? I'll just eat some fucking cherries. You see the difference between eating a pill with a plastic coating or, whatever the fuck the cellulose or whatever is of the plastic cap that they use. It's like if you eat a whole bottle of pills, like how healthy is it to eat 30 fucking, cellulose capsules? That's what I'm wondering, like
Cellulose. Just cellulose. That's just the delivery mechanism, bro.
I get it, but why can't I just take the powder, mix it in some water, and just fucking drink it in the water, as opposed to taking a capsule?
That seems like even more work. I mean, you gotta mix it up. I mean, it's gonna taste like ass. I don't get that. I mean, I'm sure you can get ashwagandha powder, but I just do the gummies, man. Yeah, you can get powder. I'm looking it up right here. Ashwagandha powder. KS756, that's what you want. Helps me out.
You're also live on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Are you on the TikTok?
No, I did not.
Well,
On to that bounce.
last night when I went out to the bar, one of the bouncers comes up to me. He says, "Hey, man, people are complaining about you." And I said, "Really? What are they complaining about?" And he says, they say you're recording them. And I said, "They say I'm recording them right now?" And they said, "No, earlier you were recording people." I said, "Like in an interview?" And they said, "No, you were fucking recording people." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "But I'm not saying you were recording people. People are just complaining that you're recording them, but I don't know if you were recording them or not." And I was like, "Okay." So guess what I did?
What?
I left the bar. I just left. And then I went down the street and one of my constituents was like, "Mayor Kitover." And I said, "Hello, voter, fellow citizen." We got somebody that wants to co-host the live stream. Welcome to the John Kitover podcast. Oh, she canceled. All right, we're going to take you back to a brief sample of what I call the NFR. It's not NPR. It's called NFR. You can try to figure out what it means. N-word, F-word, R-word. Those are the three words you can't say in the English language. N-word, F-word, R-word. You can't say either of those three words. And I was shocked because I was in Politically Correct with Patty and First Lady and Ban the Goat. And can you believe it? Somebody said the R word. And I was like, they were talking about vaccines and autism. And I said, doesn't she know you can't say the R word? But nobody corrected her. Nobody. In a room full of N words and F words. Nobody corrected the African American woman who was openly using the R word repeatedly in discussion about vaccines causing R word. What do you think about that?
You know, something I've noticed in chillism was that they enforce certain rules against certain people, like Monica or me, or other people are just exempt from. You know, I mean, like Brad can get away with doxing people, threatening to rape and kill people's, families and shit. He can say the N word. It was probably Jazzy, Dr. Jazzy. She can say, the R word, but as soon as you call a chick, a woman a bitch, even if they are being a bitch, then you get moved down, because it's, that's against the rules. I don't know, chillism is ridiculous. Fuck chillism.
See, part of the problem with even referring it to this supposed name called chillism, as if like being chill is a philosophy of some sort, when it's really just a bunch of NFRs in a room, screaming and screeching. And Nathan, the artist, is like incredibly brain rotted out.
Oh, dude, he's so brain rotted, bro. You can't get through to that fucker at all.
It is what it is, but to even call it something is our word, and it's just a room full of N words and F words, and it's pretty pathetic. You could call it like people's attempt at mock trial, or attempt at collegiate academics, as if they're sitting in a classroom, learning, reading a book, writing essays, debating, discussing, etc. But that's just not what it is. It's really just a conference call for N words, F words, R words. It is Dinner for Schmucks. Have you seen the movie Dinner for Schmucks?
Yeah, years ago, I was definitely let down. I thought it was pretty terrible, but that is relatable. It's definitely a dinner for schmucks.
Well, if you are
that damn YouTube guy, bro, like all these guys do, they don't have real lives, bro. I got in a fist fight unintentionally. I got sucker punched at a camp out, and got in a huge fucking brawl. And I let a couple people know, and I've had like Day and Incan be like, "You did not." I'm like, dude, I don't really yes, I did. I don't really care that you don't believe me, but these people are not used to talking to real human beings, like to the point where they are in disbelief that someone actually went outside, interacted with somebody else, and got in a physical confrontation. That's just not true.
Well, I think a lot of this is just loneliness, and then lack of content and media. Like, I have a lot of books at my place and a lot of DVDs and VHS, and so the question it becomes, out of your 40-hour week of consumption, what media are you consuming? Or what media are you creating? And people on this app create nothing at all, and they consume a whole bunch of toxic junk communication. And so that's the thing, is it's a lack of resources primarily. This is like the lazy person's attempt at creation. And the other thing is when you're talking, you're a fool, and fools talk, and they often fool people with their talk. So what we have happening in these conference call rooms is it should be called chillism. It should be called foolism. That's really what's happening. Is, can we fool you with our talk? And they are fools because they're talking by definition. That's the definition of a fool, is you're talking. So that's why I think everybody, including you and me and Brad and Monica, everybody's worthy of mockery because by definition they're foolish for even talking here. So that's the way to process and understand dinner for schmucks. I rest my case in the mock trial. Hello? Have any final closing statements before I put Steve Appel's Casa de Appel back on, where they're talking about Fauci?
Yeah, I gotta find that show, dude. Have a good day, bro. Okay.
Okay, ashwagandha out. Dr. Ashwagandha, thanks for being on the show. Dr. Ashwagandha, if any of our customers, aka voters, aka viewers, want to get in touch with you in order to order one of Dr. Ashwagandha's world famous ashwagandha gummy bottles, how can people go about doing that, Dr. Ashwagandha?
Go to the damn store and look up ashwagandha. Look in the bag. Make sure it's KSM 66.
KSM 66. Thank you, Dr. Ashwagandha. I return you back to Dr. Steve Appel's Casa.
Second and last warning. The one thing I don't want to do is drop you to the goo. So for the second time, please wait your turn.
Yeah, thank you, Norma. So my question is, now I'm not painting anything. I'm just asking, how the fuck does that make sense to a thinking person? Now, I'm sure there's a reason. That's what I'm looking for. What is going on? How do those speak? It seems like contradictions are something that we like strive to avoid. So I'm just trying to find out why everyone isn't just seeing this as a blatant, strangely clandestine contradiction. Because I didn't vote on this. I didn't vote on this. Did I vote on this?
Right. Okay. Thank you very much, Honey Badger. If anybody would like to come on up and answer Honey Badger's question or talk about anything else that they would have on their mind, come on up, raise your hand, and you can have a fresh five, like Meg Sita.
Call on you in turn.
Yes, we go in a queue so everybody gets their chance to get their point of view out there.
And
so
did I really get 5 minutes?
You got past 5 minutes, Honey Badger. You actually got about 7.5.
Okay. I didn't have a timer on.
Yeah. So, Meg Sita, welcome. Glad to have you. How are you doing today?
Congrats on getting my name correct. I do. I've run into numerous people with the same first name, and so I decided to add my middle name. But it turns out it's a little bit unpronounceable to some people, which is no shame. It's a foreign middle name, Sita. But yeah, I maybe should rethink that as my handle.
I might have the advantage of my voiceover reading it to me as a blind person. It does read it as Meg Sita.
Well, kudos to the I get the pronunciation right. That's
all right.
As well. Oh gosh, what was I gonna say? I guess with reference to Honey Badger, I'm gonna save a couple minutes because I forget actually what I came up to say. I have a very good friend here, and his family is very much part of the Israeli government. And I remember asking him some questions as to sort of the direction that things were headed. And after hearing sort of a lot of the history, he's a little bit older. I asked him a question. I said, so my understanding was that the founding of Israel in 1948 was it was a secular democracy. It appears to have shifted significantly away from that. Would the attacks that seem to be happening have something to do with it? And he said, absolutely. The secularism that it was founded in 1948 seems to have, the leftists seem to have really just turned into a more right-wing because they're constantly being under threat. So that's something that made a lot more sense to me. Well, you can be peaceful and democratic and very, open and leftist when you're more stable. But if you're constantly under attack, you might get some more of the people who talk about defense, and they're sort of in power now. I think Norma is wanting to respond, so I guess there's anything I had to say. I will save because I was going to say something else, but I do not remember. So
Oh, okay. Well, we would love for you to stay on stage and maybe you can give it in your closing thoughts and burning desires, or, if we have some downtime, we're going to be coming back around like we do. So just love having you here and thank you for that. We hope you stick around. All right. Let's see. Now we've got Beef. Welcome, Beef. What's on your mind today? How you doing?
Hello. I just want to comment on how it's very, very bizarre that ASMR is a term that was coined in like 2010 or 2007 or something. There's no language that has a traditional word for ASMR. None. English doesn't have one. So you're telling me for 200,000 years of human development and cultural evolution and cultural development, no one sat around and said, hey, what is that weird sensation I get when I'm at the barber where it feels a little tingly? And people are like, yeah, that is a weird feeling, huh? Why don't we come up with a word for that? What makes it even more strange for me personally is that when I was a little kid,
Game though.
No, the Indianapolis Colts football team.
No, I've never been. I'm not a Colts fan. I don't really care for football. I like basketball, like a little bit of tennis, golf.
Oh, I see. Well, you're 5'10", right? You're tall.
How tall are you?
6'3".
6'3". That's a good height.
Yeah, we're compatible.
What's your sign?
I'm Scorpio.
Oh,
What are you?
Gemini.
Ooh, Gemini.
Is that a good one for you?
Yeah, Gemini
Your
and
experience?
Scorpio are very compatible.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Sorry, my friend came out of the dispensary and we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do. It's only 11:20 and he says he's ready to stop drinking.
We'll go blaze. It's time to blaze. If you got that herb.
Yeah, he's got that too. I don't overdo it though.
Do you want to get together evening?
What about like tomorrow afternoon? Would that be okay? I'm sorry, so my niece lives up here. She's like 22,
Uh-huh.
and I don't see her too often. But she wanted to spend time with me today, and a couple weeks ago I was supposed to see her and we didn't get to. So
Yeah,
I don't know how long she'll be with me, but
we can play by ear. You got the whole day, so just text me and let me know if you have downtime and you want to get together.
okay. So you're like right downtown.
No, I'm on northwest side, kind of close to O'Hare.
Oh, so like how far are you from like
I'm like 35
Lincoln
minutes.
Park?
35 minutes.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll definitely if we plan something, we'll have it set in stone. So you're not wasting your time.
Okay, sounds good, Brandy. Looking forward to meeting you.
Okay, but could we plan like tomorrow afternoon, maybe like 2?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have work?
Maybe?
Do you want to play some tennis or go to the beach?
I'm not very good at tennis. You could probably show me a couple things.
Yeah, we
we did
can.
want to go to the beach.
The Dock restaurant at Montrose Beach is fantastic. It's right on the beach.
Oh, really? Yeah, I cycled past there. Yeah, maybe the beach. I don't know, it
Okay.
might be really hot and crowded by that time, right?
it's always going to be hot and crowded. But I do have 2 swinging hammocks, um, which are dope. But just yeah, let's play it by ear. And I mean, I'm always near.
All right. And then what were you saying earlier? Your intentions were?
To
You were
love
saying,
you,
like,
to
love.
yeah, to love you, to give you heaven and earth.
Well, you can just come back home with me then, and that sounds amazing.
That's fun. But did you drive or fly?
I drove. I drove us here.
Oh, well, just put me in your back seat, and I'll give you a massage all the way home.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good. Great day.
All right. You too.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
What are your intentions? My intentions are to love you.
Universities, which is undeclared. But you're right. Qatar is up there, but not at the top. At the top, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Liberia. Here's a place that I'm sure Jew haters like Honey Badger have never heard of, the Marshall Islands. I imagine he couldn't find Israel or the Marshall Islands on a map. Or Liberia. Do you even know what
I don't think
Liberia
Israel
is
has
or
a
was?
boundary, actually.
Well, there's another wrong piece of bullcrap.
Oh, where is it?
Up. There's China. There are many maps of Israel. I urge you to get one. There's China, there's Bermuda, there's the United Arab Emirates.
Works. We encourage everybody to come on stage and get your fresh five. Talk about therapy. What does that mean? That means we call on people. Everybody on stage gets a chance to speak in order. And if you interrupt somebody out of order, you're going to get a warning. You're going to get eventually dumped into the goo. So everybody on stage right now, you're going to get a chance to have some final thoughts and closing desires. 100% guaranteed. Let's say hello to Double OK. And by the way, he's been dumped. Double OK, good morning. Welcome to the show. What would you like to talk
I love that.
about? A senior man. I'm sorry, I said old man. I meant senior.
That's perfectly
Legit evil. They're legit evil.
Yes, they are legit people.
Would you like to give us one example of how they are evil?
By targeting civilians, women and children.
And can you give us one specific example of how they target innocent women?
Yes, we can, Steve. Just open up to you.
Honey Badger, this is your last.
You don't need to do your homework.
Alright, I guess you are getting disrespectful, so you get removed to the audience. You don't get your fresh five. I gave you a warning. You don't want to follow the rules, which is fine. You're not going to follow the rules, but you're not going to stay on stage. So, would you like to give us one example, please?
For this.
My understanding is that the enemy that were not innocent, innocent children, the enemy were hiding within the innocent individual. And also there's an adage.
That's true. They've been doing it. Hamas has been doing that since 1987.
So I would say they're not targeting innocent women and children. They're absolutely targeting the enemy.
Okay.
Hiding
Let me
within
ask you
the
something.
Sure. Ask me anything you want.
If you were a military target,
Or maybe under a hospital. Under a hospital. Yeah.
yeah, whatever you are,
But I think it's sure.
Yeah, we will still put them.
Sorry.
Well, no, I didn't even notice you built the picture with everything. So let's go Marshall, and Reverend Scott, and Young. Go ahead.
So I don't think it's acceptable to let Morgan lead to this. But I will say this. The reason the civilians are at risk is not because of Israel, it's because of Hamas, who has since their inception in 1987 used protected UN sites to hide from. So the only way to deal with these people is to get through the UN protected site. I'm not suggesting you bomb a hospital, I think that's a bad idea.
That's what you're suggesting.
But I will.
Understand, you wanted a response.
But I will suggest that you look at the article at the top, filed by NATO Strategic Command, which tracks Hamas's use of human shields from its inception to about 2019. That should give you a better understanding of how Hamas which was 9.3 million people. So that gives you a rate, that gives you a percentage of the population killed. We then multiplied it by our 340 million people. So pretend, for example, that Canada did the same thing to upstate New York, Detroit, Mexico did the same thing to down south. That would have been 45,000 people killed in the United States. And I don't think people have an understanding of right. I have a question, and the question
I
is
probably have an answer.
yes, and the question is to be educated. I'm listening to the conversation, right?
Well, I love to educate people.
Okay. So I'm wondering now, because I'm always thinking outside the box. It's just in my brain.
I'm always thinking outside the box also.
So
You ever heard the phrase great minds think alike, baby?
I think we do. I think I have.
There you go.
So could it be that is it possible that people may be using the word genocide not because it's Jews doing it, right? Could it be the proportionality, right, of the Hamas, right, which is way less than civilians, right? So if you
I think people are using the word genocide because it elicits an emotional response. Please continue.
yeah, it does. Yes, that's the bottom line. But is it because they think that they see so many unarmed civilians unable to defend themselves in harm's way, and they consider that an imbalance of justice? Is it possible that they think like that?
It could be, but you then have to ask the question about consistency. Were they considering, is this guy opinion about genocide just for Israel? Or were they consistent with the United States demanding to look everyone twice and Muslims? Right? They killed over 1 million Iraqis in Iraq. Was that person who was talking about Israel committing a genocide, were they consistent in their condemnation of war like that? Or did they say nothing and only have something to say once it was about Israel?
Or more importantly, if you look at the definition, it says destruction in whole or in part with intent. Now, Srebrenica in Bosnia and Herzegovina, 2,900 people were killed. And that was declared a genocide retrospectively. And the perpetrators of that were tried for genocide. It was declared a genocide because there were written orders to kill all the Muslim inhabitants of a village, Srebrenica. So it, in general, has nothing to do with the size. It has everything, because the word in part doesn't mean you have to wipe out everyone. It just means some group. It has to, the word intent is, I think, the defining portion of the convention language.
Yeah.
Let's hear Leroy a few more minutes because go ahead.
Yeah, and I think those kinds of conversations or these discussions need to be had because I think that people think of say there are many, say there's like 3, 4, excuse me, numbers. Say there's 2,000 Hamas, right? Maybe more. Say there's 2,000, but there's hundreds of thousands of people, right? So if hundreds of thousands, within that hundreds of thousand, more than what you can imagine is in the crossfires to get to a couple of thousands. I think that's where people may have the question. They could be wrong about calling it genocide because it's Jews, or they could be feeling that it's proportionately doesn't seem to be.
We're not going to do that.
I think we have an open mic on spot for you to take care of that.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if that little slither of a thought process could be interjected because it becomes it's because of the Jews why we're doing it, and it's not because people are thinking, oh my God, all these innocent people are in the crossfires, and there's not that many Hamas that's worth all of those people. You understand what I'm saying? They're not. All those people are not worth dying to get to Hamas.
Okay, hang on just a second, Marshall. Marshall, hold on. Okay, Leroy, I'm assuming you're good.
Yeah. Just that was my thought process.
Buddy, I totally appreciate it. I'll leave you right for coming back to the show. First class, absolutely. First class is the VIP. Let's go to Adam. Adam, right there. Yeah, there we go. Hi, Adam. You get a fresh ride. Yeah, you got it, buddy. Thank you.
You missed one of the big things he's trying to do, which is restrict the ability of children born in U.S. territories of Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands from automatically getting their citizenship documents. Now, I think it's
They call it alligator foot cleaning.
Yeah, I'm just trying to participate in the show. I apologize if I offended anyone. I listened for a while, right? And there was a lot of Jew hate today, but I was just wondering why is everyone hating on the Jews? I'm not quite sure what's going on, right? They're not even really the Jews, right? They're Ashkenazi German tribesmen. So why are you guys giving them credit by saying that they're Jewish? Why wouldn't you claim the tribe of Judah if Yahuwah isn't your personal Elohim? You don't even know who your personal Elohim is. So why would you do this? Like you can
I didn't hear anybody mention the tribe of Judah today. Somebody mentioned it.
you are
No, this is
claiming the
Kazari.
tribe of Judah, but you're Kazari.
Everybody go on mute except for Elvira. I didn't hear anybody mention the tribe of Judah.
Norm was coming up here.
No. The answer
Claiming a lot of. Are you hear what he?
Hang on. What I'd like to hear is either you agree with me or disagree with me, and then you can move on if you want.
There was a place when Norm came up here and listed a lot of stats. Were you there?
I was listening to Norm speak. Yes.
So a lot of the stats that he was talking about were not of the tribe of Judah. He was talking about Ashkenazi family.
The stats that Norm gave, were any of them false?
But they were not relevant to the tribe of
Were
Judah.
any of them false?
Were you listening to me?
Not only was I listening to Norm, but what I heard him say at the end after he gave all the stats is that he spoke factually and it's all verifiable. Therefore, I'm asking you, do you disagree? Did he give any information that was not true? It's a very simple question.
Yes, he misrepresented the tribe of Judah.
Okay, and please explain exactly how he misrepresented the tribe of Judah, which, by the way, has not been in existence for 3,000 years.
And how do you claim lineage?
No, the question is, has the tribe of Judah existed in the recent 3,000 years? The answer is no. So the tribe of Judah existed over 3,000 years ago. So I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Someone who's Jewish is claiming lineage of the tribe of Judah. Were you aware of this? Or
Okay, so now you want to talk about whether or not he's really a Jew. Is that what you want to talk about?
I'm talking about the state of Israel claiming lineage of the tribe of Judah. Are you aware of this?
No, I'm not.
I talked for 2 seconds.
I'll do better than that. I'll give you 60 seconds to spew whatever anti-Semitism you want to, and then I'm going to give you an escort to the VIP. Go ahead, spew your anti-Semitic hate. Go ahead.
Again, I was saying, why are you guys hating on the Jews? They are not Jewish. They are Ashkenazis. It's a Germanic tribe. They cannot draw their lineage of the tribe of Judah. They have no connection to Yahuwah. They have no clue who their Elohim is. The only connection to an Elohim is El Elyon, the Most High. They don't know who divided them among the nations when they received their inheritance. So they're trying to steal an inheritance, misrepresenting an identity. Don't give them that identity. They're just Jewish tribesmen, and they're just German tribesmen. They don't
Anyways,
of citizenship.